This is the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show today. Limited Runs is proud to announce the inaugural interactive art exhibition experience, Pop Art Photo Show, taking place September 27th to the 30th, 2018 at the Barker Hangar in Santa Monica, California. Jim, what is important about the Pop Art Photo Show to you?
The pieces I did with Risk, Kelly Graval, who's like a graffiti artist. I think the collaborations with him and I were really good. And there's a few new pieces that I did with Dennis Morris, a photographer, and Kelly and myself that are really nice too.
Dennis is actually standing right behind you.
Oh man, Dennis Morris. How you doing, man? Yeah, we did a collaboration together. Yeah. He's been bugging me for years and we were always talking about it. And finally we had a chance to do it. And his work is amazing, without a doubt, right?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. Back in the 80s, I did like a series of portraits of different stars and things like that. In some cases, we took photographs of them. Now I do mostly straight art that's like more interpretive, you know, for Pearl Jam, Foo Fighters, bands like that. So definitely I draw things now.
Dennis, what is important about the Pop Art Photo Show to you?
I think what's important about it is how it's brought together various mediums in art, from photography to screen printing, graphic designs. It's got all the mediums together, so I think it's really, really important.
Whose work are you excited to see tonight?
I'm excited by all the work, you know. I can't really say one or the other. Really, honestly, I'm just excited by all the work. I think all the photographers, all the designers, all the artists, all the graphic designers are very on par.
We just sat down for an hour with Martin Atkins of Public Image and talked about Metal Box.
That was my conception.
I know.
The logo of Obviously, as you know, is mine. I'm very proud of that. Very, very proud indeed.
What have you been up to since we last spoke?
I've been doing a lot of things, really. I've been traveling. I've been doing shows all over the world, in China, Japan, Korea, everywhere.
What do you think it is about the work that you've created that stands the test of time?
It's hard to say, really. I just think I was able to capture something when in every subject, every artist I've worked with, from Bob Marley, Sex Pistols, and Marianne Faithfull. I've always seemed to be able to get that knack to be able to take the mask off of each artist I've worked with. So, in that sense, I can't really put it down to anything. It's just a knack I have.
Are there any new artists that you're shooting now?
I haven't actually worked with any new artists at the moment, but I'm looking and I'm waiting. That's how I work, really. But in between my music, I'm always doing other things. I do a lot of art photography as such. A lot of social documentation. So I'm always busy, and I also make music myself. And funny enough, the band I was in, Basement 5. The album just been released this year on a label called Played Against Sam, just been picked up from Ireland, and there's a lot of noise on it. A lot of noise. Everyone's really excited by it.
Were you hands-on in remastering it?
I was totally hands-on. There's a complete package. There's the deluxe package, which comes with original posters that was there from the first release. There's also Billy Idol's wrote a piece for it, and there's also lots of images that were taken at the time. So it's a really beautiful piece, really.
Blairing Out with Eric Blair show at the Pop Art Photo Show.
My favorite interviewer.
Yeah, with the greatest of the greats, Niels Lozauer. Tell me how you got the call to be a part of the Pop Art Photo Show.
Pierre Voudrag, who put this on, this wonderful event. He's a friend of mine. He sells my photos on limited runs. And he asked me to participate, so of course I'm going to say yes.
What are some of your favorite pieces that you picked to be in the show today?
I don't really have any favorite pieces. I have my more popular pieces. I look at my photos every day, so they're, dime a dozen to me. But what do you call it? We have my David Bowie shot with the mask. We have my Tom Petty sitting on the carpet with the Gerard turntable and the Marantz amp on the shag carpet. We got the Mick and Keith. We got photos that Pierre wanted, like a band shot of X. We have a lot of Lozauer stuff here. Pierre gave me a lot of love at this exhibit.
Do you get to know some of the other artists and photographers here when you do a show like this?
I guess I can. I sort of keep my own shell myself. I'm not the most sociable person in my old age, but we have Glenn Wexler here, and there's a lot of great artists here. I met Connie over here, who's got some amazing still lifes of Los Angeles, and there's some great movie posters here. I mean, this isn't all about me by any means. I mean, there's a lot of great material here. Everybody should come down and check this out if you're into art. I'm not a big fan of Picasso and Rembrandt and Van Gogh. That stuff's boring, but there's some great artistic pieces here.
What's next for Niels Lozauer?
Motorcycles, cars, fast women, you name it, all that type of stuff.
Connie, what is important to you about the Pop Art Photo Show?
I think it's the talent that's in it. I'm thrilled to be here. I've never considered my work pop art until Pierre's like, it is. It's urban Los Angeles. It's the city of angels.
Do you shoot lots of cities?
Oh, I've actually just started shooting Philadelphia. And this just happened to start one night as I was leaving a club downtown. And the Disney concert hall was glowing. And I thought, oh, I have to come back and make a picture. That was in 2009. Here we are.
Tell me about the personality of LA.
Wow, I've never been asked that question. I think it's at times can be a very lonely city, and it's the city of dreams and endless energy. And at sunset, is there anything better? And yes, there's a lot of chaos, but it's also calm. When I'm out there, the city becomes calm to me because I just see what's in front of me.
Zach, what is important about the Pop Art Photo Show?
What I think is important about the Pop Art Photo Show is the fact that Pierre and Stacy and Limited Runs has brought together kind of a myriad of different artists, right? So you have like important photographers, rock photographers, fashion photographers, experiential photographers with LA in the background, and then match that with a lot of like key work, with the vintage poster collection and with a lot of that stuff that sort of makes pop culture what it is.
What inspired you to start collecting movie posters?
Well, funny enough, that's cool that you said that. It was actually my dad. My dad was a movie theater manager. And so growing up, I didn't really have a babysitter. I just went to the movies. So for me, my dad being a manager of a bunch of different multiplexes all throughout Buffalo and New Jersey and whatnot, I was always around posters. And to me, that's what's cool about the show is that like 60s, 70s, 80s artwork by guys like Frank Franzetta, John Alvin, Tom Jung, some of the guys you're going to see here tonight, Drew Struzan. There are guys that actually, in my head, took time and really honed their craft as painters and created these, beautiful paintings essentially that then, were movie posters, So some of the stuff here, like the Star Wars, the OG Star Wars stuff, or like Raiders of the Lost Ark, or a lot of the Bond stuff, the James Bond stuff behind us. There's an art to that. To me, it isn't just a photograph of the lead actor with a gun, or something like that. It really is something that they put a lot of work into. I think that there's something about the artwork of the time period that's featured here. When you look at the poster, you can see pieces of the movie, like important scenes of the movie, playing out in the artwork. Like I said, it isn't just a picture of the lead actor. You see, for example, Raiders of the Lost Ark. You see Indiana Jones, you see the truck down in this corner, one of the key scenes. You see the Ark of the Covenant, you see the Well of Souls, you see Marion and some of the key characters. Does that make sense? Yeah. So as you're staring at it and you're watching it, again, back in the 70s, 80s, like that is how you sold a movie. You had your movie trailer and you had your poster artwork that then could be, reprinted in newspapers and, on walls and billboards and whatever it is. So there's just a lot more put into it, and I love that.
What was the poster that changed your life?
That's a good one. The poster that changed my life really was Richard Amsel's work for Raiders of the Lost Ark. The actual poster that's here in the show is the one from my childhood bedroom that I actually restored and linen-backed and the whole thing. And it's funny enough, it's been in a vault for about 40 years. My dad built this crazy crate where he has over 2,900 movie posters. And so for Pierre and I digging through all that and picking out the ones that we're going to see in the show today, that was a process. That was a 6-month process. And for me, when I think of a movie poster, to answer your question, Raiders of the Lost Ark is the one that sticks out the most. It really made me appreciate the artwork and the time and the effort that goes into the craft.
But what is it about that poster? Because I think it's deeper than that. What was it that you identified with the character?
Well, there you go. As a kid, as an 80s kid, looking at Indiana Jones, you wanted to be him.
How close did you get?
Pretty close. Funny enough, I became a director. I direct movies and TV and all this stuff. And so for me, going to the movies, experiencing movie posters, and now actually getting to do it on a real set of my own, it makes me feel great. I mean, it makes me feel like I'm doing what I set out to do.
The Blairing Out Show.